First of all praise to the Father Yahweh, Ba'ashem Yahweh Shai, Ba'ashem Ruach. Shabbat Shalom to all the brothers and sisters in recognition to observing this day for worshiping the Most High. Sundown this evening to sundown tomorrow evening, my people. Let's get some rest, worship, and praises into the Father Yahweh in Yahweh Shai's name as his people, because it's a commandment to us throughout all of our dwellings, and he's more than worthy of such. Now, shout out to these two, the colonel right here, Ibrahim Traore of Burkina, Burkina Faso, that's it. And also Nandi, Ndaitwah, I think that's her name, of Namibia. She's a president, first woman president there. Okay, and they said no, as we've seen in the prior videos, to Bill Gates' treachery, okay, to his undercover trying to basically, as far as I'm concerned, use these people as guinea pigs, lab monkeys. You understand? And that's basically what it all boils down to. And what gives him the right to do this? Every time he comes up with some sinister vaccine or, injection, the first place he wants to go is to the people of Africa. They said no, they weren't having it. And he told him to get out, as we just seen in those prior videos. This is a wicked, evil, sinister man right here. And he's basically doing the will of his father, the devil. Because he is a generation, he's part of that generation of vipers that Yahweh Shai told the Kenites that they were. And this is the reason why they are always conducting evil and wickedness in experimental form on our people. African people are our people. They are our cousins, you understand? Even though some of them were confederate with the enemy and are selling our people into bondage, forced servitude, slavery, whatever you want to call it. They are still our distant relatives, okay? But they are getting, a backlash as the evil that they've done to us. Some of them are repentant for what they have done, some are not. But nevertheless, I still don't think that this devil right here, lower right-hand corner, has the right to go over there, and unleash his abominable, I don't even know what to call them, abominable, mosquitoes, something that the Most High never even created, under the guise of to help get rid of malaria. No, it's getting rid of people is what it's doing, more than likely. They said malaria even spiked, it worsened, okay? Same thing with the president of Namibia, trying to cut down on the birth rate. So you figure, just because I'm talking to Bill Gates now, because your people are not replenishing themselves, that you can put a halt to our people not to replenish themselves under your sinister geyser, of birth control, testing. Nah, it's not like that. You don't get to do that, and that's just what it is. Now, I'm sure these two African countries right here know, when they said no to the devil, that there is going to be consequences and repercussions, and I hope that they are prepared to deal with it. And that's just what it is. I hope that they are prepared to deal with what this devil is going to do, because he got, told no. He was refused. See? And that's just what it is. But what I want us to do is start over here in Ecclesiastes chapter 12, verse 10. And it reads, "Never trust thine enemy, for like as iron rusteth, so is his wickedness. Now I'm hoping other African countries, surrounding African countries in the continent of Africa, are keeping their eyes on this brother and sister and follow suit. And they're standing up to America, Bill Gates as a representative. Because after all, they are Africa's enemies. Never trust your enemy. Okay? Now, Ecclesiastes chapter 12, verse 7. Give unto the good and help not the sinner. A friend cannot be known in prosperity, and an enemy cannot be hidden in adversity. In the prosperity of a man, enemies will be grieved. Don't you know that Africa has all kinds of resources? Cobalt, diamonds, gold, bountiful soil to grow food on. The enemy of Africa is grieved behind that. You understand? They hate it and they want a piece of it. And that's why they always over there, like they got right to be in them people's house. But remember, the reason why is that because the earth was given into the hand of the wicked. Okay? To continue, but in his adversity, even a friend will depart. Never trust thy enemy, for like as iron rusteth, so is his wickedness. Though he humble himself and go crouching, yet take good heed and beware of him, and thou shalt be unto him as if thou hast wiped a looking glass. In other words, you can see him and what his intentions really are. And thou shalt know that his rust have not been altogether wiped away. Set him not by thee, lest when he hath overthrown thee, he stand up in thy place. Neither let him sit at thy right hand, lest he seek to take thy seat. And thou at the last remember my words, and be pricked therein. Be pricked therewith, that is, people. Excuse me. Who will pity a charmer that is bitten with a serpent, or any such as come nigh wild beast? Question. Okay? You can't trust this guy. You can't trust him because he's on a sinister, wicked, evil mission of destruction. And he just wants his kind to thrive, but that's not going to be. Psalms chapter 55, verse 21. The words of his mouth were smoother than butter, but war was in his heart. His words were softer than oil, yet were they drawn swords. You see, this is what ultimately the devil and his seed is all about. This is what he's trying to achieve. Okay? Come to you talking all nice, shaking the hand with the smile, the teeth showing and everything, where the other hand is behind with a knife in the back. Behind his back, holding the knife, waiting for you to trust him and turn your back on him, and there it is. Okay? There it is. Now I'm going to tell you about this devil. Well, Habakkuk's going to tell you about this devil in chapter 2, verse 5. He never satisfied in his own place. You see? In his own habitat. He's got to be going far and abroad like his grandfather. His father, what have you, not grandfather. Well, him too, the devil. But his father, Cain, who was a vagabond. Okay? Always going all over the earth. When the Most High asked the devil himself, Satan, where have you been? He said, walking to and fro throughout the earth. This is exactly what his grandchildren do. That's what his father Cain did. Cain was of that wicked one, the devil himself. Cain's a vagabond. Okay? So his son's going to do the same thing. Yea, also because he transgresseth. Habakkuk chapter 2, verse 5. Yea, also because he transgresseth by wine, he is a proud man, neither keepeth at home, who enlargeth his desire as hell, and is as death, and cannot be satisfied. But gather unto him all nations, and heapeth unto him all people. He got to have it all, even what belongs to you and yours. If it's anything of value, okay? And sometimes even if it's not of value, he got to have it all. He ain't never satisfied at home. You see, and then on top of that, like the scripture says, he is proud. Okay? He got to enlarge everything around him that's, he can call his own. They land grabbers. You see what I mean? Rip people off. I mean, everything. They never satisfied. Habakkuk chapter 2 verse 5 says this, okay? Now, let's read here in Habakkuk chapter 2 verse 2. And the Lord answered me and said, write the vision and make it plain upon tables, that he may run that readeth it. For the vision is yet for an appointed time, but at the end it shall speak and not lie. Though it tarry, wait for it, because it will surely come. It will not tarry. Behold, his soul which is lifted up is not upright in him, but the just shall live by his faith. Yea, also because he transgresseth by wine, he is a proud man, neither keepeth at home, who enlarges his desires hell. And hell's what he's going to get. But let's continue. And is as death, and cannot be satisfied, but gathereth unto him all nations, and heapeth unto him all people. Shall not all these take up a parable against him, and a taunting proverb against him, and say, woe to him that increaseth that which is not his? How long? Question. And to him that leadeth himself with thick clay. Shall they not rise up suddenly, that shall bite thee, and awake, that shall vex thee? And thou shalt be for booties unto them, question, because thou hast spoiled many nations, as the remnant of the people shall spoil thee, because of men's blood, and for the violence of the land, of the city, and of all that dwell therein. Over in Africa, Bill Gates was trying to do violence. Trying to control the birth rate in Namibia is violence. Okay? That's violence right there. Releasing these GMO Frankenstein mosquitoes in Burkina Faso is violence. Why? Because what it's going to do? Spoil the men, spoil people's blood and everything else, and get rid of them. This is all violence right here from the devil himself. But the people are going, this is written, nations are going to come together. And when I say nations, we talking about people of the darker race, okay? Are going to come together and put an end to thee, okay? And the Most High will raise us up to do it when it's all said and done. Now we're going to go over here in Obadiah, chapter 1, verse 1, about Edom. Because, like I said, there's so many different names that the Kenites changed, here and there. And the Kenites are hard to even find in the Bible, but that's where it all started, Cain's seed. Okay? Now, it says here, the vision of Obadiah. Thus saith the Lord Yahweh concerning Edom. We have heard a rumor from the Lord, and an ambassador is sent among the heathen. Arise ye, and let us rise up against her in battle. You see? Behold, I have made thee small among the heathen. Thou art greatly despised. The pride of thine heart have deceived thee. Thou that dwellest in the clefts of the rock, whose habitation is high, that saith in his heart, who shall bring me down to the ground? See, it goes back to being that proud man. Ain't worried. Yeah, you're going to be brought down to the ground. Though thou exalt thyself as the eagle, and though thou set thy nest among the stars, thence will I bring thee down, saith the Lord. Now, I don't know if a lot of you guys know or not. I'm sure you should. You do. At least you should. America exalt this country as an eagle. So Edom is in control of America, and Edom will be brought down, according to Obadiah right here. All right. Verse 5. If thieves come to thee, if robbers by night, how art thou cut off? Would they not have stolen till they had enough? Question. If the grape gatherers came to thee, would they not leave some grapes? Question. How are the things of Esau searched out? How are his hidden things sought up? All the men of the Confederacy have brought thee even to the border. The men that were at peace with thee have deceived thee and prevailed against thee. They that eat thy bread have laid a wonder unto thee. There is none understanding in him. Shall I not in that day, saith the Lord, even destroy the wise men out of Edom, and understanding out of the mount of Esau? Question. And thy mighty men, O Teman, shall be dismayed to the end that every one of the mount of Esau may be cut off by slaughter. For thy violence against thy brother Jacob shall they cover thee, and thou shalt be cut off forever. Okay? This is what's coming. See, they can't get away from this. In the day that thou stoodest on the other side, in the day that the strangers carried away captives his forces, and foreigners entered into his gates, and cast lots upon Jerusalem, even thou was as one of them. But thou shouldst not have looked on the day of thy brother, in the day that he became a stranger, neither shouldst thou have rejoiced over the children of Judah in the day of their destruction, neither shouldst thou have spoken proudly in the day of their distress. They've done all that. We conquered them. They ours to do whatever we want to do with them. Esau, okay? Esau actually, fornicated with the seed of Cain. You see, that's what that boils down to. And see, then we bring about these name changes. Verse 13. Thou shouldst not have entered into the gate of my people in the day of their calamity. Yea, thou shouldst not have looked on their affliction in the day of their calamity, nor have laid hands on their substance in the day of their calamity. Neither shouldst thou have stood in the crossway to cut off those of his that did escape. Get out of here. Neither shouldst thou have delivered up those of his that. Gee whiz, this is all butchered up. Let me read this again. 14. Neither shouldst thou have stood in the crossway to cut off those of his that did escape. Neither shouldst thou have delivered up those of his that did remain in the day of distress. For the day of the Lord is near upon all the heathen, and thou hast done, it shall be done unto thee. Thy reward shall return upon thine own head. Okay? See, they get away with nothing. So it don't make no difference. All these little sinister little plans you coming up with to hurt the people, all of this coming back on you because the Most High has already spoken it. And there's no escape. Okay? Just like the interstellar object that they worried about right now, speeding towards Earth. It say this thing is doing like, I don't know, so many 100,000 a mile for every 4 seconds or something like that. That's just how fast this thing is, okay? Well, they worried about that, but I can guarantee you, I'm going to tell you this, and this is my own personal thoughts about it. I don't believe it's the Hamashiach. I don't. Not right now. I think it's that wicked one. You see what I mean? I think that's who it is, but be as is. We'll see. Because the word says he's coming first. A lot of people, they forget that. But let's continue. Here in verse 16, Obadiah chapter 1. For as ye have drunk upon my holy mountain, so shall all the heathen drink continually. Yea, they shall drink, and they shall swallow down, and they shall be as though they had not been. But upon Mount Zion shall be deliverance. That's us. Okay, our people, the Most High's people, us. And there shall be holiness, and the house of Jacob shall possess their possessions. Okay, and the house of Jacob shall be a fire, and the house of Joseph a flame, and the house of Esau for stubble. Okay, and they shall kindle in them and devour them, and there shall not be any remaining of the house of Esau, for the Lord hath spoken it. Okay, verse 19. And they of the south shall possess the mount of Esau, and they of the plain the Philistines, and they shall possess the fields of Ephraim, and the fields of Samaria, and Benjamin shall possess Gilead. And the captivity of this host of the children of Israel shall possess that of the Canaanites, even unto Zarephath. And the captivity of Jerusalem, which is in Shephereth, shall possess the cities of the south. And the saviors shall come up on Mount Zion to judge the mount of Esau, and the kingdom shall be the Lord's. Okay, this is what's to come. So it don't make no difference about all of these little sinister ass plots, Bill Gates and Esau, who's in rulership right now, that you try to do. It is not going to help you get away from what has already been spoken by the Most High, Yahweh. And that's your destruction. It don't make no difference. You fight a losing battle, boy. And that's just what it is. So shout out to these African brother and African sister right here for resisting. Stand strong. Stay strong. You know what I mean? Don't go back on what you said you told him. Because if you do, well, he's going to have his way with you for a little while longer. That's all I got on this lesson on people. I hope you guys found this lesson edifying. I hope I said something to stimulate your spiritual growth. All praise to the Father Yahweh in Yahweh's name. People, please remember to live your life as though we are being watched. Simply because we are. This is James, and I'm out. Peace.